Hey everybody, it's Sherpa Rage. I am back from a rather long hiatus of not really doing any Warframe stuff. I did kind of get consumed by Smite there, so taking a little bit of a break kind of from that. I do want to get back into the Warframe community a little bit more. I am going to be reapplying for an official Warframe channel and everything, so I'm super stoked. I've got five build breakdowns coming, starting with this one of Atlas, and then I have Naja, Wukong, Ivira, and then Inaros, which is the newest one there. So I have those five ones that will be coming. So starting kind of with the Atlas one here, just to jump in, kind of get that going. So Atlas does have his four abilities: Landslide, Tectonics, Petrify, Rumblers. Landslide is kind of like one of those abilities, like Slash Dash or Rhino Dash, basically where you slide forward and you punch enemies. So it's a sliding punch basically. Nice thing about with Atlas that they did change to the mechanics of those other abilities is you can recast it within a quick short window there, and it costs less mana basically, or less energy basically at that point to use it. So if you can chain it basically, and it'll reduce cost basically at the next cast and everything, which is really nice. So there's that there, which is a pretty decent ability. Then you have Tectonic. So he summons a rock wall, and then if you activate it again, it'll roll forward, turn into a ball. Kind of like Geb's rollout for those of you who have played Smite. Like I said, I've been playing a lot of Smite, so there's a couple things that I'll kind of mention like that. So, but the nice thing is it's kind of like Iron Skin. It has a number basically of its overall health. So starting at 100. Typically when it gets down to about 10, 15, somewhere in that kind of range, I like to activate it and have it roll out, to just do damage and everything. Really great on some maps that have tight doorways and stuff. Think like Corpus doors and things like that, where you can block basically the entire door. So helps funnel enemies, away, and kind of give you a little bit of breathing room and everything, which is nice. His three, Petrify, he grabs his mask, pulls it open basically, and channels void energy, which turns enemies to stone. And kind of like a Medusa, kind of Medusa there. Kind of going into the Smite Medusa ult. So yeah, his three is really fun. Basically, you just kind of like Chroma's fire breath. You just kind of walk around, gazing at things, and it's just kind of like it's very like energy, like whoop whoop whoop, kind of, really really fun ability to play around with. Great if you have a lot of range on it. And then of course the Rumblers, which summon two elemental stone brawlers basically that'll go around and fight. They have a timer, but you can hit your four again, and it will cause them to explode wherever they're at and deal damage kind of outwards, which is really nice. My build's a little bit different. I do have one of his mods that come from like the syndicates, which actually combines both of them into one. I'll jump into the build actually and touch base on that. So that is Titanic Rumbler here, which basically creates a single Rumbler with 150% health, so more health, 135% damage, so it does more damage, and then 65% speed, while also taunting enemies nearby that will basically taunt it into attacking it or aggro it. So really nice. That kind of can help, just give you a giant body that kind of has that presence on the field, which is really nice. And then you can see one form on Atlas. I did give him Energy Siphon over the V Polarity. So I know for those of you that don't want to Forma, yeah, definitely recommend Steel Charge probably. He is pretty tanky, being he has 450 armor, Health and shields with max redirection, max vitality, 740 for both of those. 600 power on a almost max rank primed flow, which is obscene. Any frame that has above like 500 in my book is really great on energy. And so then the only thing really, he's not super fast. He's got that slower sprint speed. So I don't have an Exilus mod on him yet. But if I was to look at that, maybe go rush. He would definitely need a couple more Forma. I probably would Forma, yeah, another D polarity, just because that'll be a more expensive cost. Bar polarity could go down here. I could see that. Typically, I'm not going to polarize that as much. It is important to note, even though I will cover it in the Inaros video, Inaros is the first frame that I've seen that does have an Exilus slot polarization, which it does have a bar polarity on there, which is pretty darn nice, because by looking at the Exilus mods, you can see that a lot of the more expensive ones are bar ones, especially like Coaction Drift. That would be a great one, you know, to have on. Like Energy Siphon, it's not as viable because 15% of 0.6 is not a whole hell of a lot. It's like 0.385 or something like that. I forget the exact number, but it's not much. I mean, yes, it is an increase, but it's not much overall. So yeah, pretty standard with the max redirection, max vitality, prime flow. Then we got the Titanic Rumbler, continuity, you know, duration there. This is more so to cancel out fleeting expertise, which you'll see even with the 45, the minus 60, so I'm still at 85. If I can get this up the 2 more levels, you know, that'll definitely help. Everything else though is positive. So the power efficiency 160, power range 145, power strength 130. I have thought about, you know, maybe throwing on something a little bit different as far as the damage goes there, or the damage power strength one goes. Not so much transient fortitude since it is minus duration, and I would like to, you know, keep that not going too negative. Blind Rage, the only problem with that is the efficiency, so kind of why I went with the kind of why I went with the Intensify there, just so I don't really lose any efficiency and like that. And then of course the stretch for range. So really like the range for his 3. That's one of my favorite. And then of course the 1's really affected by that as well. I don't believe the 2 is affected by range at all. I'm not even sure if there's really anything that affects it too much. I'll have to double check, but all in all, this is a pretty well-rounded build. You know, his 450 armor, I mean, his stats are really pretty darn good. Like, 450 armor is insane. 600 energy is great. 740 on health and shields, not amazing, but because, you know, it's even there, it's definitely not bad. I like having that matching there. And then, of course, Atlas's passive, which if you don't know, it's very nice. Basically, as long as he is maintaining contact with the ground, he cannot be knocked over. He has that just innate passive where he can't get knocked down. In the air, sure, you can get flung back by like a MOA or, you know, heavy gun or something like that that can knock you back. But as long as you're contacted with the ground, you're golden. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here and show you guys the playstyle, kind of give you a little bit more in-depth view of the build breakdown. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here we are going to be doing the Atlas, you know, build breakdown and everything. So normally it would be running Xeni, but since they changed Xeni to a interception, and I typically want to run these missions solo, I just figured, hey, you know what? Atlas, rock, earthy frame, let's run Earth. So I'm just going to be doing this, just kind of show you guys everything. So for starters here, let's see. Here is the wall, and so you can see it's got the 100 health, you know. It's not super large. There is a mod that actually makes it like double large or whatnot, double the size, which I think would be really useful as well, but I chose the Titanic Rumblers over this. So you hit that again, and it'll roll off, you know, and smash into things, which is really nice. Got my 1 here, let's see. And then, unfortunately, there wasn't another enemy around. Oh, here we go. So I'll show you what I mean by you can chain it. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, there you go. So you see it costs less energy each time I cast it, which is really nice. Then we have, let's see, his 3 turns him to stone, even though I'm not... Wow, that's actually pretty good. The range on that, yeah, super nice. Let's see. We'll go ahead and summon the Rumbler next guy we see, which is right around here, according to the map. And here we go. So there is the gigantic Rumbler. And he will go ahead and fight these dudes. Yeah, throws rocks at him and whatnot, you know. Very nice. So, all in all, though, you can see Atlas, very different kind of play style. Like, he's got a lot of the, sort of the core mechanics, I would say. And the fact he has that, like, movement type ability, which I wish you could just cast it without having a target. It's probably the only thing I'm not crazy about, you know, is the fact that you have to have an enemy to latch onto. But of course, that's understandable, being that it's a damaging ability and everything. That could be something they maybe look into, though, is making it a cheaper to cast if there's no enemy type deal, something like that. I don't know. But you know, there's just some things that maybe he could get tweaked a little bit. I wouldn't say that overall he's bad, though. I rather enjoy him. He's, I would say, a little bit of a weird niche that he's in. but not by any means bad. Like I said, especially with the armor, very very nice armor. So he's got good team synergy. I feel like just kind of depends whether what you're working with and kind of what mission style you're doing. Something like an exterminator or whatnot, really solid. I feel like. And then, oh yes, here we go. Thing I did say. Yeah, so you can see it's 38 seconds there when I spawn him. Let's see if he'll go fight. Maybe not. But you can explode him like that, and it'll do damage outward and everything. There we go. So range could be really good. I personally like just doing this a lot when I have a lot of energy, just walking around, kind of like, all right, everybody get zoned. Yeah, especially the range on that would be really nice to have for the one, just for that sort of quicker movement and everything. The wall, I'd say, is one of the ones I use like the least in terms of like its defense, even though it's like really good on that. Just because there's like not a lot of situations I can really justify it. I usually use it more offensively, like that, which it's really really fun to use. In terms of like the enjoyableness, I always have like a fairly good time playing Atlas because he's one of those frames. It's just like, oh yeah, you get really comfortable with him. You have a lot of fun. Not being able to be knocked over just makes it that much more enjoyable because I can't tell you how many times I just get extremely salty extremely quick because I just keep getting, you know, stun locked, knocked down, and it's like I'd be fine if I could stand up for 1 fucking second and do something, you know. So having that just innate ability to not be knocked down is amazing in my opinion. Oh god, see his one though, super fun, just like sliding, especially when you're like in the void and you're just running around smashing dudes. What was that? Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like you guys get a pretty good idea. He's a very straightforward frame, honestly. And I mean, like I said, never really have a bad time playing him unless I'm just, you know, not feeling the frameness, so to speak. But yeah, I pretty much at this point, you know, other than the occasional build change with like when new mods come out, most of the time I'm just kind of doing Forma stuff. As you can see, the Vastos I've got, the Opticore I've done as well. Both these ones are on their first Forma. I just finished 5 Forma on the Prism Gorgon. Oh god, that's super nice. Man, the thing just obliterates. So yeah, I feel like the Opticore, once I get a couple Forma on it, show it some love because it is a good gun. I think it'll be a lot of fun. That's always a fun thing to do too. Is just run and like dive, do the dive mechanic, and then into that. What? Okay, that was really weird. It wasn't actually connecting. Oh god, the old-fashioned way. So yeah, that's pretty much the build breakdown. Sorry if it was a little bit quicker than normal. I feel like he's very straightforward though. I will be getting, you know, a little bit more in depth than the other ones, I feel like, so I did want to kind of just touch base on that. A lot of good things have come from DE since, especially Second Dream. Second Dream, I feel like really revitalized Warframe and the community, and then this new update has just kind of made things better. A little bit of like technical issues I've noticed here and there. A lot of weird stuff going on with squatting and whatnot, but I'm not really too worried about that because that's kind of stuff they'll probably just kind of tweak a little bit and it'll be fixed in like the next 2 or 3 hot fixes. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining, and I hope you thank you everybody for viewing, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you on the next video.